Whoa. Whoa. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Weeaboo Wednesday. Weeaboo Wednesday is, of course, just my weekly Weeaboo news section, where I talk about anime, video games, and other weeb garbage that you might be interested in. And believe it or not, today is the 10th episode of Weeaboo Wednesday. How awesome is that? Go me. So let's start this thing out by saying that Promare, the anime film that we talked about in a previous Weeaboo Wednesday, is coming to the United States. A company called Geek has acquired the license, and if you're not familiar, Geek has done anime movie releases in the United States for quite a few other anime movies, such as Summer Wars, pretty much all the Ghibli movies that you've seen in movie theaters, and even Okko's Inn, which is a more recent one. They've of course done tons of other movies as well, but I can't sit here and name them all. They're listed as having a premiere on September 17th and 19th, and then it will open in select theaters among the United States on September 20th. If you don't remember, Promare was a movie about where this burnish race of creatures has come to basically inhabit people's bodies and make them self-immolate and become terrible things, which of course causes catastrophe around the world. The main character, Gallo, is part of the Burning Rescue anti-burnish fire squad type deal that goes around and saves people from catastrophe, which is caused by the burnish race. Keep that in mind because now we're going to talk about Fire Force. Fire Force is basically a manga that started to show in Weekly Shonen Magazine by Kodansha. It's actually a pretty cool manga, and it's made by the same guy who did Soul Eater. Now, Fire Force is actually getting an adaptation into an anime. It comes out July 4th in Japan. There have been some new promotional videos that have come out recently showing some battle scenes and everything like that. It looks really, really cool, and the character design is really nice and unique. Of course, everybody's wearing weird sort of dumpy fireman outfits, but beyond that, they actually do all seem to have quite a bit of character to them, and the animation looks really good. The opening theme is called Inferno by Mrs. Green Apple. If you go listen to it on YouTube, there's a full music video for it. It sounds so much like an anime opening, it's not even funny, but I love it, it sounds great. Now, I mentioned Promare at the beginning of this because I wanted to make a sneaky little segue into another story. Atsushi Okubo, otherwise known as the creator of both Soul Eater Not, and now Fire Force, recently fired some shots in the Weekly Shonen Magazine. Now, his aim is not entirely clear yet because he hasn't mentioned any specifics, but he said, and I quote, "I'm going to stop talking about the contents of my manga before they get serialized, even to people I know. I don't know where my work could be stolen from." Now, a lot of people on the internet are buzzing about and making inferences between his statement and the fact that the recent Promare film is very similar in its story elements. Let me add fuel to that fire by giving you a synopsis. Tokyo is terrorized by fiery demons that are causing people to spontaneously combust and become awful monsters. The Fire Force is established to combat this evil and chase it wherever it may rear its ugly head. Shinra, a young firefighter, possesses the unique ability of running incredibly fast, harnessing power of combustion and leaving devil's footprints wherever he uses this power. Could this be the true meaning of fighting fire with fire? Or will using the tools of their enemies to combat them result in the city's ultimate immolation? I actually just made that up. I wrote that myself, but that's basically a quick summary of the synopsis of it. Now, the director of Promare, Hiroyuki Imaishi, stated that they started pre-production on Promare back in 2014, so that actually predates when Fire Force went into serialization in the Weekly Shonen Magazine back in 2015 in September. Now look, I like both of these things. Promare looks really cool, and I do want to go see it when it comes out in theaters, and Fire Force is awesome, and as I've shown you, I've bought the manga. I'm interested in the series. I want to see it because I loved Soul Eater, and I want to see more from this creator, but I do think that, yes, there are very similar things between the two. When I was watching the promos for Promare, I said to myself, wow, this is weird. This is the second firefighter anime coming out in like the last year. And then there's another firefighter anime coming out, I think, where there's like a bunch of sexy firemen in it. And I don't know, that one makes me feel a little uncomfortable to see, but no. Maybe firefighters are like the new sports anime. Either way, I'm gonna see both. But man, if he is shooting shots, bang, 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 shots fired, my boy is out there saying, listen, you copy my anime, I'ma slap you. I'ma stop telling people what I'm making. That's, I mean, it's really not even that big of a thing. He's just like, look, I'm gonna start being more secretive with what I'm making. I'm gonna hold it a little closer to the collar. And who knows, maybe Promare is terrible and Fire Force is gonna be a jam. Or vice versa. What if Fire Force is terrible and Promare is a jam? Who knows? Only time will tell. Shots fired, if you will. Ooh, I like that. Kinnikuman returns. That's right, everybody. In the 29th issue of this year of Shonen Jump, Kinnikuman has returned for a one-shot manga, 47 pages in all of his glory. The Goodbye Kinnikuman story. Kinnikuman has not been in Weekly Shonen Jump for 11 years. This has been a long time coming. And in this one-shot manga, it's basically his retirement ceremony before it gets invaded by 10 supermen, which is what they call like the really strong wrestlers in the series. Kinnikuman has to fight these 10 wrestlers, but in his retirement, is the older Kinnikuman strong enough to defeat them? Only this 47-page manga will tell, but since it's shonen, we can assume that the good guy always wins. So Kinnikuman, good on you, boy. In a recent streamed video for Catherine Full Body, Atlas USA revealed that Joker from Persona 5 will be a playable character in Catherine Full Body. This is a little weird because there's actually playable characters. I guess for the multiplayer you can select different character skins. I don't think it'll have any bearing on their abilities, but it looks interesting enough to have Joker running around as well as Vincent potentially. That's kind of funny. It's going to be a DLC, basically, and you can get it with the premium, like, collector's edition of Catherine Full Body if you order that, or you can buy it independently as a standalone DLC. The pack also comes with additional commentary from, like, the other Phantom Thieves while you're playing the game. They'll be in the background like, oh my goodness, I can't believe Joker was able to pull that block out. He's so strong. Kind of silly, but who cares? It's neat. I like that they're doing more with Catherine Full Body to really try to flesh out this game and make it sell a little better because, man, that game deserves more love. I don't need to tell you guys, I love me some Catherine, and this one, yes, is the Xbox version, but I have the collector's edition of the original Catherine. I loved this series. Finally, the Seiyu Tomokazu Seki, otherwise known as Archer from the Fate series, will be reciting the Epic of Gilgamesh in an upcoming audio CD released by a Tokyo museum. If you're not familiar, in the Fate series, people are able to summon heroes that are all classified by like Archer, Saber, Berserker, Caster. They all have different classes and they all correspond with different people from history. Whether it be heroes or legends, they're all reminiscent of probably something you may have heard about, or maybe even a lesser-known hero, which is really cool. One such hero, of course, is Gilgamesh. And people have always been into the story of Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh, and why shouldn't they be? It's a great story, but they are going to be bringing that more so full circle to life with the voice actor for Archer / Gilgamesh in Fate series, and he's going to be doing this whole reading of like an audio book of the Epic of Gilgamesh. Additionally, they're going to be releasing an app where Gilgamesh acts as sort of a virtual tour guide via audio. This is the Tokyo Ancient Orient Museum, and they actually have a permanent exhibit for Gilgamesh. So this sort of virtual tour guide will act as a tour guide for what's going to be a long-term exhibit in the museum. Just look at that face. He's so smug. Gilgamesh is not amused by your silliness. It's so long that I almost wish that I could just read it instead, but it's called The Recitation of the Epic of Gilgamesh, the man that peered into the abyss. That's incredibly dramatic, but I love it. The voice actor, Seki, actually admitted to not knowing that much about the true Epic of Gilgamesh and not really knowing the origins of that character. So, with this sort of new job that he's picked up, he's going to be able to kill two birds with one wall of swords. It's a little in-joke for you. Okay, so there's also a little bit of Gundam news, and it's just merch, but oh my god, do I want this. A Chinese company called 361 Degrees is releasing a bunch of Gundam merch for the 40th anniversary. Among this merch is a whole group of really, really cool sneakers. Yes, there's an RX-78 pair of shoes, a Zaku 2 pair of red shoes, and a bunch of other ones. They range anywhere from $60 to $100, and these things are amazing. Can someone get me the RX-78 and the Zaku shoes? I will pay you much USD dollars for you to get them for me. No, seriously, these things are awesome looking, and I really wish I could figure out how to use this Chinese website to order them because I do want them. And with that said, that's pretty much it. So there really wasn't a ton that I wanted to go through this week. I'm trying to get these a little shorter, but that's all there is. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. If you did like it, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel. And of course, make sure to click links when you're at the end of the page. You can click the subscribe. You can click the playlist with other Weeaboo Wednesdays, or you can even watch Figure Fridays. This week, we are doing a Polynean of Lucio. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.